Last year, I did a guide on leaders after the first rework. Well, 3.10 threw all of that out the window. Now I'm going to cover what you can do now to be effective with leaders in 3.10. So the flat resource traits leaders used to give you is gone. Now it is just a percentage. This I feel is more balanced, especially in the beginning. Another great change is each leader type finally has their own separate leader pool. Before, unless I went over the leader cap, I needed all scientists and no governors if I wanted to expand fast. And generals, they finally did something with generals. They always felt really out of place. So they made them a specialization of admirals, aka commanders. So now there are only 3 leader types with their own leader pool. So you can now take full advantage of each leader type without having to choose one or the other in some situations. There are 3 leader types, as I said: commander, official, and scientist. Each start out with a capacity of 3, so 3 of each in the beginning. This capacity can obviously be raised by civics, ascensions, etc. Let's talk about commanders first. Again, these are admirals, just with a different name. Your first fleet starts out with one. Just like before, when they level up, you pick a trait. Some good ones worth mentioning: prudence or anything with ship range is very good in my opinion. Outranging your enemies can be a really good thing in combat. Any trait with sublight speed can also be very good in the right hands. Ship fire rate and damage is also worthwhile. If you like hit and run, disengage can be useful. Those are fleet traits. I would not pay too much attention to the planet and sector traits. Council position traits have some very good ones. Officials run your planets and sectors. They can also hold council positions. Any trait that increases resource percentage except maybe food is a good pick. Scientists have many traits too, but a lot of them don't seem to matter much. With scientists, until they are done exploring, the best traits are anything that increases survey speed. When exploring and surveying is done, then it switches to anomaly speed. Once your scientists become bored and really have nothing to do, you can stick them on your planets. This is when planetary traits start to matter. With council positions, research speed is king. However, I heard through the grapevine that speed is getting reworked, so that may not age well. Let's talk about council positions. There are a lot of them, so I am not going to go over their names. Council positions traits are generally the most impactful traits. Be on the lookout for anything that increases research speed, anything that gives ship cost reduction, also anything that reduces upkeep. There are flat resource percentages. These ones are good as well. Be especially alert for any traits that increase influence. This is one of the biggest advantages to playing a Gestalt empire. As far as I know, Gestalts are the only empires that get influence gain traits. There is power projection bonus or a direct gain bonus. Some traits to avoid or choose if there are no other options. Traits that increase edicts. Traits that adjust crime, infiltration, or amenities or operations. These all do not bring enough to the table to warrant that precious pick. You won't even notice them if you pick them, except maybe edicts. Some others, like Clear Blocker, are not worth it either. Let's talk negative traits. You will get them. How often depends on what bonuses you have. Some traits, like Alloy or Resource Reduction, are about worth firing over. So do not be hesitant to get rid of a leader if they are reducing something very important. Like alloys or naval capacity, the other advantage to Gestalt empires is that their nodes never die. However, there are technologies that allow you to fire your node. There is an agenda for Gestalt called correctional bisection. It is good to do this once in a while, especially if your nodes have negative traits. You won't even notice the experience loss. Try not to hire too many leaders right from the start. This can cripple monthly unity gain, making it harder or impossible to get traditions in the beginning. Try not to go over cap, at least in the beginning. The experience penalty is bad, but what is really bad is the upkeep cost. It just eats through your Unity early game. I recommend raising your scientist cap whenever you can. The more scientists you have exploring and surveying, the better. Try to get building speed and cost traits on your governing officials. The faster your buildings and districts build, the better. Next, we have renowned leaders. This is perhaps the most disappointing feature of all the leader changes and content. Most of their traits are simply not relevant enough. They also come with negative traits. A lot of these traits are pretty significant too. There are some good ones, but they are few, so I would not go out of my way to get them or recruit them. So the council has the ruler, the minister of defense, head of state, and head of research, or in their place a specific civic council position like brand manager. Dependent on what civic you choose. Remember, this only applies to standard empires. Gestalts have all positions open from the start of the game. Every leader can both hold a council position and be assigned to a planet or ship, but not both a planet and a ship. Officials can't be assigned to ships. Ideally, you want most of your highest producing planets to have a leader with appropriate traits on your worlds. That covers a lot about leaders. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you next time.